Welcome to the stream, ladies and gentlemen. We are here with the picks and bans going down for Anexis versus Dexter Is Actually Evil. We've had the team swaps. Anexis now going to be Team Red, Team Blue going to be the Dexter. And, you know, do you think Dexter refers to the serial killer or, like, Dexter's laboratory? Because he always looked like an evil fellow to me.
I'm pretty sure it's the serial killer, but to keep it, I guess, Parental Guardian a little bit more, PC, whatever you want to call it. I guess Dexter's Laboratory. I mean, the sister, I think, was Dee Dee or something like that, if I remember correctly. It was a little devious as well, so, I mean, they have that with Ladok. I think it's a little bit devious with the Lulu play, and hopefully we'll see some other good things coming out from Dexter and his mad mind of laboratory things.
The mad mind of Dexter. Mwah. Now, we are sitting right now with Anexis actually up 1-0, I believe, as Dexter did fall last game. So it's basically their time to shine. If they can't take home a win here, then we're going to be saying goodbye to them, as it will be a 2-0 victory for Anexis to move on to the finals tomorrow. Same time, same place here on the FourCourtJester stream. And yeah, we'll have to see if we can actually do that. So, you know, coming out for the bans, Renekton, Kale, Zed. Looking at Diana, Twisted Fate, and there's that Thresh yet again. But Kale and Zed ban, those seem to be fairly strong reactions.
Yeah, Overpowered did a great job just zoning out whenever he could, and when those initiations came into play for Hecarim, it was just way too much for the team of Dexter Is Actually Evil. Now going to ban those out. Let's see if they can get some more comfort picks as well, as they pick Shen yet again as that first pick.
Right, so back in the game number 1, you said you wanted to explain exactly how this tournament is going to be awarding the finalists?
Yeah, so everyone here already from 1 to 4 already qualified for that promotional series. Really quickly, you can actually check all the information out on Leaguepedia, but just to jot it down really quick for everybody. Everybody who actually qualified in already from the other tournaments, from LCS Retro Lily and also Go for L Cross Qualifiers, they're already seeded out. Meteor Makers is number 1, Alternate number 2, Uncle Reckless Revenge number 3, and Esports for Life is the number 4 seed. Yeah, I'm seeing that troll pick. Maybe it is going to be a Shaco, but wow, that'd be really interesting to see. But yeah, so those already seeded out. The number 1 seed from this tournament, from the Rank 5 qualifiers, is going to play the number 4 seed of the locked-in participant tournament. So Esports for Life would play the number 1 seed of this tournament. Uncle Reckless Revenge would play the number 2 seed, and so on and so on. It's pretty much just a tactic in a way to reseed everybody for that actual summer promotional series, when we're actually going to be going in and seeing if they change the tides have turned for any of the teams in the LCS concurrently right now as well.
Okay, so there you go, guys. Lots of seeds, lots of matches, and you know, who knows by the end of it. We'll have to stay tuned and find out. Now, you said maybe a little bit of a troll pick there for Shaco, but he's definitely locked in.
Yeah, that's probably a bad thing for me to say, but Shaco is a really good pick overall. I just feel like he's more used for solo queue and such like that, but in a ranked team, he does provide that split push the same way that Hecarim provided a split push for Nexus the last game. Although for this time, Hecarim was really tanky, Shaco not as much, but I've seen Shaco play out a little bit better with that status shift upgrade. It's a little bit cheaper, plus you can get that goal for 10 if you really need it in jungle, which I don't think he's going to be doing. But after 15 minutes in, we're going to see a lot of pressure coming out from Erotic, and we'll see if that actually comes into play. Or it could be kind of like a Shushay, where he went, I think he did this over in Korea, actually playing top lane Shaco too, so it might be a new thing. It might be something Anexis is trying out, especially since they are up 1 game. I mean, they could be just trying to do something really crazy and really, well, different for Dexter Is Actually Evil.
So interesting. We're going to get Shaco locked in as well as Xin Zhao. Very interesting. Typically, I mean, I would have pegged both of them as junglers, but I don't really know which way they're going to swing this way, and with the summoner blockers up, I can't tell you which way they're going to swing this way, but who knows? I mean, I've done some Xin Zhao solo before. It's very hit or miss, really depends on who you're up against. Now, they already do have Shen locked in as well as Nasus, so it's pretty much those 2 lanes are already figured out. I'm curious to see if Anexis is either just going to be playing with Dexter this round. They do have that one game advantage. Again, the mentality going into game number 2 can really differ depending on if you won last game or not. But I'm iffy.
I mean, they also have the Elise who can actually go mid, could actually be support, could actually be jungle as well, or top, so that's also a pretty key thing. I've seen Xinzhao over in top lane quite a bit as well, so it's not really a bad choice, but then again, showing that early kind of makes things different, or I don't want to say it could be Double's worst nightmare, but we'll see if they're gonna actually pick the champion that I want them to pick. On the other hand, for the team of Dexter Is Actually Evil, they're pretty much playing the same kind of setting, except for they're gonna switch out the Ahri over that mid lane, and they're gonna have Leduc play out the Nami. On top of that, the Misfortune. That's gonna be a really big key if they can time that in with the tidal wave of Nami. It'd be Curses at bold time, but now tidal blood time. Yeah, no, probably that doesn't work as better, but into AoE all on top of AoE all, and that's what the team with Dexter Is Actually Evil is going to go for.
Alright, so yeah, Nami throwing that tidal wave with the bullet time. I was also thinking maybe just the Shadow Dash or the Wither, you know, just keep everyone kind of together. But yeah, I'll go with tidal wave. That seems to be a bit more of a more AoE option. A little sad there's no Amumu. Always fun to see that combo. And maybe somebody was a placeholder here. Or
yeah,
something.
it's probably Shaker.
Because we did just remake. It was a Ryze last pick, so Ryze versus Ahri mid. I'm not entirely too sure I can really go with that, because every time I see Ryze go up against Ahri mid, it's always just Ahri just chasing circles around Ryze, and he just eventually goes down, cooldowns or not. And with the Nasus jungle, I mean, you come in with the Wither, you come in with the Spirit Fire. Nobody told me anything about why we had somebody jump out, so maybe it's not going to be Shaco at all.
Yeah, it is a placeholder for sure for that Shaco, because there was no AD carry that was like picked out. So I'm guessing they talked to each other. They probably talked to Borson as well, and Borson probably knows who the actual pick is going to be. But yeah, pretty much everything's going to be set up for this game. We'll have the picks come back in, rapid fire, and everything will go back out.
Is there an Elise last we checked? I don't think there was. So I think it's
yes,
Elise.
there was.
Okay.
There was Elise.
Elise, Zyra, Ryze. No, there couldn't have been. No, maybe. Yeah,
There was.
Alright, so who was the last pick up here then?
Ryze was the last pick. Xaxis.
No, we're gonna have to wait to see what erotic picks.
It's Xinzhou for erotic.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So who did we replace?
The Shaco for Barrett.
Oh, duh. Okay. Makes sense.
Happens.
Yeah, phew, no Shaco. Okay, I was going to say, I don't really know what I would do with myself if I found myself a Shaco in high-level competitive gaming. But either way, alright, so yeah, we're going to finish that off. So we'll be that Misfortune down south with that Nami. Looking for the tidal wave ult combos later on. Varus and Zyra once again picked out here for Anexis. Very strong combo last time. Sure, Salavra got caught out a few times, but Blade of the Rune King into Infinity Edge, exactly as you did predict. I mean, it paid off in spades at the end of it. Salavra had also, of course, the option of a Mercurial by the end of things, and he had a Zeal, I believe, in his inventory by the time the game did. And so, again, Overpower with a Ryze versus Ahri. I don't think I rarely see that work.
Yeah, but then again, just referring back to the alpha beta game slash, I think there's a lot of people from Mouse Esports that were on that team. Overpower went 9-0-10. 9-0-10 against that team. I don't know. It might be a good character for Overpower to play that Ryze, if anything.
Alright, so I'm going to take a quick look here at Runes and Masters. What do we got for summoner skills, Mr. Bird?
We're looking at everything. Free Sharp going to be hitting the cleanse for cleanse, not surprising. You have the AoE all, like corruptions on Varus, so they're going to try to stop that down. And on the other hand, you have Charm, you have Nami's Tidal Wave, you have Shadow Dash and Wither. That's a pretty good thing to say, yep, we're going to pick up that cleanse and reset onto that. Ignite going out for Leo from Korea, while on the other hand, Leduc actually going a little bit more just classic on support. Going to be picking up that exhaust, so it's going to be really cool to see. Super Hot Fire and Overpower going to match each other in the mid. They're going to be picking up the teleport. And something to note from the last game, Kikis, who played Shen, again, built out all armor in that mid game go. So when Overpower was at that split push in late game, or split push in mid game, just pretty much just went all over onto Kikis. So they're going to go respond with Super Hot Fire. Having that teleport going to be able to just maybe delay overpower a little bit more, or at least respond to teleport, jungle, probably dragon control if anything. Other than that, nothing really else. No, just cleanses, and the biggest thing, the exhaust, is going to be the change over in that bottom lane.
Yeah, I'm just looking through all of these. I don't really see anything really that strange at this point. Like, there's no 30 zeros, for example. And I'd be very surprised if Rise is actually rocking a 30 and 0. But 15-13-2 on Zexus. Very AP oriented. He is going to be at least tops, and yeah, lots of ignites going down. Last time I think it was the 3 ignites to 1. Didn't matter, we still won.
Yeah, and now it's going to be 2-1, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be a little bit of change, and especially for the Nami, the changes to her are actually pretty strong. With the E changed up the second to last patch that happened, it's a little bit, I guess, stronger per se, and it lasts a little bit longer for that slow. And then Tidal Wave having that big cooldown reset, going down to about 110, 190, or am I off? I think it's 120, 110, 100 for rank 3. It's a really strong tool, especially at AoE, anti-CC kind of ultimate, or initiate engage ultimate. It's a really big tool into everything, and especially Nami's kit, sort of like Janna, sort of like Soraka. It really works out well for her. So Leduc playing some Nami, he did some really good things. He didn't die actually as Nami for his quarterfinal matchups versus Mad God. So, I mean, he might be a really strong one, while on the other hand, Overpow, again, not dying with that Rise, that might be a little bit different, per se.
Big shout out to Riot Borson there in the chat. Known that guy since his SK days, but he's found a good home here at Riot. Spectator delays about to run down. Thank you for all that analysis there, Mr. Bird. Game number 2 going to be coming your way in just a moment here, ladies and gentlemen. Anexis versus Dexter. Dexter kind of on the back foot, as Anexis is in danger of advancing 2-0 onto the finals tomorrow. And yeah, I gotta say, what do you think? 40-minute game again?
Definitely. I mean, if anything, EU kind of, this tournament at least, has been just a standard for just safe play, safe mechanics, safe CSing, and then counter invades whenever they can. Dragon control is just like the biggest thing about this tournament. I mean, averaging 35-40 minute games, and especially with the unfortunate pauses that come in between that, it just a lot of nerves on both the teams right now, / on all the players who actually participated in this one. Again, guys, this is actually all on the EU West live server instead of, I think, was the tournament server last season. So it's a very different kind of thing, and unfortunately, we'll see if that actually comes into play with the team. Dexter Is Actually Evil, a little bit down right now.
Yeah, a little bit down, but not out. That's why we have best of 3, so you can make those epic comebacks, and we can all be giddy and happy as viewers, casters, and esport coordinators. Nothing like a game 3 going all the way to your 3.5 hour mark that you set aside for this. Yeah, I've had that happen. It's fun times.
I mean, having a best of 3 go 5 hours, it's not a big thing. I mean, 1 hour pauses, those are really fun.
Alright, so we are just summoning into the game. Lots of diamond borders, lots of skins coming down. Nami, unfortunately, not exactly with it with everyone. And there we go. I'm fairly sure our overlay is all better this time.
Hopefully that will be key.
Yes, it is.
Level 1, I mean, we didn't see any big things level 1 last game. I mean, they did some positioning. They played out pretty much defensively for both teams. They're probably going to be doing the same thing, or probably not, because it looks like Dexter is going to go in. Wow, they are taking the long way around. Unfortunately, going to meet up with Zazas, and Foo Sharp is not going to be able to push off onto Zazas.
Oh, that's going to be Ghost. Dexter's going to go all in for this, forcing out that cocoon, and that's going to be defeating that. So Dexter may be a little bit too antsy, looking for that first blood right off the bat, but 200 seconds until that Ghost comes up. Hopefully he won't need it in those next 200 seconds, but it's just something to keep in mind. And Nexus knows that it's down now. They might be able to make some counter jungling pressure happen, but because they've already now spotted out the spider, they're at least should know that we're going to have this lane swap occur again.
Yeah, I mean, at least he's going to be down there, and the Nexus now with that advantage. They know that Gnosis doesn't have the Ghost, so he's probably not going to go for that blue buff. I mean, we can see that on the map. I mean, through Nexus's mind, he says, or they say, yeah, probably not going to go for that blue buff, and
Minions
we'll
have
see if we can
spawned.
pick off 1 or 2 people, especially with that late invade probably coming in from the team of Anexis.
Now, typically what we see in these beginning days is that when you don't have an aggressive invade coming in, a lot of people just be out and about in the jungle, for example. Down south, you see them happening out. Super Hot Fire helping out Kikas, but because Shen is helping out with his, with his Super Hot Fire, he's going to go straight through this bush, and oh, he's not going to go, oh yeah, he will. Alright, that should be a kill, but no, it doesn't look like Anexis is really that on point. They're actually going to get the flash out of him, however, and the ignite, so he's going to have to go back, and he's going to be really late to the party top lane, but I really thought that they were just going to stack up and wait for him to come into the bush, just kind of insta him and take the blue, but yeah, a little slow on the reaction time. Either way, Erotic gets the blue, the steal is now complete, and we actually might see this really early 3-man gank bottom. No, they're going to go straight for the other blue.
Yeah, Dexter's going to be able to take out the blue buff from the team of Nexus, and actually that's going to be ahead for the team of Dexter Is Actually Evil. They can actually take this as fast as they can. Overpowered now going to come right back into it, and we're going to see the catch from the Cocoon. Dexter's going to take a little bit of damage. Ignite going to go down, and the damage up is going to be enough. Riot going to get in there. He's going to get the first part through the Duty Town story, but Super Hot Fire going to be off of Hot Pursuit. Can they actually finish up the kill? No, they won't, and Riot going to be able to get that kill. Again, just because the Ghost was down for that unfortunate Gnosis.
Yeah, Ghost down, no flash. I mean, I guess the Nexus said, okay, well, we've hit that Shen, we got the lane swap going, they're clearly starting off at red, they're probably going to go for our blue, and what a catch. Able to pick up that first blood and rob Dexter of not only his red, but the blue that he did steal away. So that's going to start putting him really behind in the next few minutes, because he doesn't have that extra damage, he doesn't have those cooldowns, that regen, and stacking that Q is just going to get that much more expensive. Now with also the first blood on the side of a Nexus, I mean, they've also taken the early gold lead. They know that they're safe in the top lane, for example, for pushing. It's going to take a long time for Dexter to get back up there, and with now the wards in the river, you can see quite a few wards here in this bottom half of the map. It's just going to be kind of push city at this point.
Yeah, it's looking like that, especially over that top lane. Kiki's going to take a little bit of damage when we coming up from the poke from Leo from Korea. And Kiki's just going to be taking so much that he is in a really bad position. We do see that ult teleport coming in from Ari, and they're going to provide that pressure to come back off of that one.
Wow, so not only did we get that Ghost really early game, now without that teleport, Super Hot Fire, definitely not worth his time as the Nexus once again comes in here for that gank. Now they're going to go straight under this tower on top of Kikas. He's just going to try to play footsies under it, but is the tower not attacking Erotic? No, it is. There we go. We also got that Ignite going off, looking for the kill on top of Kikas, but it's not going to happen. And Erotic once again going down to that Ignite damage. But now here comes the cleanup as well. Dexter looking for that redemption, picks up the kill on top of Salaver, a few love bats on top of Leo from Korea. And all of a sudden, I think Anexis got a little too greedy on that one.
Again, the amplification of damage in their early levels, it stops the 330 gank. That's pretty much what the damage output was supposed to do for the changes to the tower, and unfortunately that stopped the 330 gank and gave the advantage right back to the team of Dexter Is Actually Evil, especially with how much damage is already done over in this bottom lane turret. It's dangerous times, and unfortunately Nexus takes a little bit of blow from that one.
Yeah, just a little bit. Either way, 2-2, gold now back tied up. And yeah, Salaver, he goes back. I mean, he's going to come back with a long sword as well as those boots. So a little bit extra mobility, a little bit extra damage. Looking for the kill on top of Shen. But again, Shen just a very solid top laner, very solid solo. It's really hard to burst him down. But the damage is still also starting to kind of become that critical point for this bottom tower. If we see it go down the next 30 seconds, then we're going to be on par with game number 1, because that went down just before the 6-minute mark. And then we, of course, had the switches go around.
Yeah, so we're going to probably see the same kind of slowdown pace after the first takes of a tower. We do have a pretty exorbitant amount of damage over in that bottom lane, so that's why we're seeing Erotic actually rotate the bottom, try to help out that pressure, because they don't want to take that bottom turret super early, or at least lose that bottom turret super early.
Nice water prison going out. Erotic's going to get kind of stumped out by that. And Exhaust going down as well. There's the 3-town strike. Doesn't quite land. There's the cleanse on top of things as well. So Fusharp not going to go down, but it did cost him both of his summoners. So yeah, that pressure going in, trying to make sure that the tower does stay up. I wonder if it's going to buy enough time for Salaver and Leo to actually grab their first tower up here. It's sitting at 550 hit points. Not as quite as critical, but once again, tower damage is going to start adding up on top of Salaver as Kikas is here. But Leo from Korea Gonna play interference, looking for that kill. Maybe not gonna grab it this time. Bottom lane, still big aggression as Erotic is not left, turning it into a 2-on-2. So across the board, lots of pressure, looking for those first towers.
Yeah, it's looking like the team of Nexus might falter a little bit with that first tower take over the bottom lane, but Kias with that double buff really saved out a lot of damage and actually pushed out Sulliver from the actual fight. So unfortunately, that's another advantage going into Dexter Is Actually Evil. And can they actually just push in for the win over this bottom lane? I mean, Zaz just wants to go back. Actually, he's probably just going to give this one up, and the team of Nexus is going to lose their first tower right now.
Now, I did notice, though, that this round, neither of our top laners actually started off with those Fortitude pots. Instead, look at what Shen has. He started off with the double rejuve, and then his first way back after that kill did get himself that Giant's Belt. So, again, same idea. Zaxxas did start off with the Crystalline Flash. I think he had a few wards out there as well. But, you know, for a very typical start on top of those Fortitude pots, I guess they kind of both realized that once again we're going to get those lane swaps going in. And the Fortitude pots, probably not the best. We got Erotic coming in here mid. Nice charm coming off as the 3-town strike finally procs. Does not want to stay under that tower damage. He's learned his lesson from the last time. But we got Dexter coming up here. That's going to be the Shadow Dash. Spirit Fire goes out with the Wither. And that's going to be a kill on top of Leo from Korea. Now we also got the Ignite going down on top of Dexter. I don't think the passive is going to be enough. Well, couldn't land it anyways. And once again, all of this counter pressure coming out to save the first tower.
Yep, and Dexter doing a really great job just capitalizing on the mispositions of the Zyra, getting future shots in there. So unfortunate on that as well. But great job by Dexter Is Actually Evil, just doing really, really good control. And this is actually their strong suit, at least from what we've seen today. I mean, they can control team fights really well. They can control skirmishes. Can they actually control their positioning so that they can be in the right position for themselves?
I wonder who's going to be able to control the game. That's my big question coming in. Second blue buffs are now up. Overpow's going to be picking his up. It does not look like we have any kind of movement on top of the Dexter's one quite yet, but that's alright. Towers need to be saved. Kika's still doing some really good counter pressure, 2-on-1 in this top lane. That kill on top of Leo really did afford him some extra freedom of movement, but Zax is still kind of defending this one. It's about to go down. Yeah, now he's going to make sure that it does drop, and that's going to be the first tower going towards Dexter, and very likely the lane swap coming out.
Yeah, probably actually not. I mean, Dexter Is Actually Evil did that lane swap back to top lane and try to do some good things from that, but the only problem that what happened for the first game, they gave a dragon control, and having dragon control is super, super crucial in that early go. At the time, I think Anexis Esports in the first game was down about like 1,000 gold or so like that, and they got back into the game just because of that extra dragon, the extra pressure they had from bottom lane. So hopefully this time we'll see Dexter Is Actually Evil taking over that dragon.
Well, they're already sitting there at the dragon. They do got Dexter in there as well. Zax is just going to be throwing down that ward. Oh, it's going to get hit by that purple. We also have some counter pressure maybe amassing here. Erotic and Overpower, but they will be noticed out by the ward. That should be the signal to get on out. I guess Blue Sharp's just going to be put in position for a flash. Water Prison goes out as Zax did flash forward for it. Dexter and the Fear of the Sand is going to be following up this bullet time, but we also had Shen coming in from the picture as well. Top tower, however, is going to drop because of it, and can they get themselves a Constellation Dragon?
Possibly, but the thing is, Dexter Is Actually Evil pretty on everybody else. We'll see Kikis go on the back line, and Rada going in for that engage.
He's gonna, oh, what a nice sweeping strike to put everyone in all the four corners. We also got the Spirit Rush running around here for a super hot fire, but Red Team steals the dragon with the smite from Erotic. No, he didn't smite. I guess he just was able to DPS it down before he did drop. So either way, hey, they traded out Erotic for a dragon, and look at this top tower. This is actually in danger of going down.
Yeah, I mean, great job by the team, just exasperating the team of Dexter Is Actually Evil, and Anexis Esports is going to be able to take out the second top tower as well. They take a pretty absorbent gold maintenance early go. I mean, 1k is pretty good actually at the 10-minute mark, and it's a really, really smart play coming out from Erotic.
So they defeated the dragon, they did lose out Jhin, but they got 2 top towers for it, and of course this entire top lane is going to be in shambles for the rest of the game here for Dexter. Now, you said maybe we're not going to have that that lane swap, and it does look like you were right because they did want to get that dragon, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, that was just one of the unfortunate breaks that you get sometimes. I mean, the audacious charge is good, but it's AP base damage. The base damage though was actually pretty good, but the AP ratios on that, so it was just that one smite, and not one smite, but the one damage from that pretty much secured the kill, unfortunately.
Extra burst. I guess we didn't have the smite up from Dexter, otherwise it would have been kind of a poor play right there. But hey, either way, Dragon to their name. We're going to see the next one in around, what, the 16-minute mark? 17-minute mark, something in there. As Salaver now mid, almost has himself that Blade of the Rune King again. And a Blade of the Rune King before 14 minutes is something to behold.
Yeah, getting that 3,200 gold item at the early go of like 16 minutes is pretty much the set standard you want to get for your big first item for it, at least in the 80 carry. So very, very crucial to actually hit that up because again, it's not an actual BF item that you usually get, but BF sword, sorry. Yeah, Silver is going to be building into that. Going to be able to get that extra damage output and then build into the Infinity Edge yet again and rock it down.
Rise just... we saw this last time as well. We took the tower early from the Nexus, and then Rise went top, or Overpower goes top. Lots of fighting here in the mid, however, Super Hot Fire does not get hit by that sweeping strike. Now, Erotic could be in danger going down. Here comes Overpower with that teleport. Keek is going to get hit by the Chain of Corruption. Flash out with the Shadow Dash, not going to be enough. Overpower with that long-range Q, able to take home the kill, but maybe a little bit overextended. Jhin did go down as well, so Laver's going to throw out that arrow. Is going to get some damage there on top of Leduc, but by the end of all things, 1-for-1 exchange. But yeah, I mean, we've been seeing this. We got that Anexis top tower last game, and then the ADC and support comes mid, and Overpower, their mid, goes top. And that's exactly what happened right there. He had to use the teleport to kind of get into the range for the team fight. Ooh, lots of tower damage coming down on top of Leduc. We might actually not be done with that cocoon. Zax is able to just give down Nami. He's going to go up and down, landing on top of Fu Sharp. We got an Ignite there as well, forcing out the Stand United from Kikis, and all of a sudden, Anexis, they're still putting up this immense pressure.
Yeah, the thing that actually came out of there that was unfortunate for the 1-for-1 trade, Dexter Is Actually Evil, the Nami actually got the kill, so that was another unfortunate thing for that team fight. Very, very, very great little position, fighting battle each and every time, taking that little bit of advantage, especially with that Cocoon and Venomous Spike combo right there at the end, and next to the esports, definitely take that trade for that advantage.
So 5-4, still the gold advantage going towards the Nexus. Might be down a kill, but they're up a tower, they're up a dragon, so that extra global gold just making up for it. Varus, when he goes home, doesn't quite have enough to pick up the gold tower, I don't think. He's just doing himself a little bit of damage here. In terms of the creep, 102 to 101, both leading their teams, the ADCs, but very, very close creeps. Now, last game, game number 1, like before the 20-25 minute mark, the creeps weren't really that close, but this round, definitely a lot. The numbers are definitely hugging each other quite a bit more.
I think Anexis kind of responded better with the early game for game number 2. They kind of saw what they had to do at game number 1, and then they stalled it out during that mid-section after that first dragon. So Nexus now bringing out the pressure, getting those 2 towers over in top lane, and just putting on pressure non-stop onto Dexter Is Actually Evil. On the other hand, Dexter Is Actually Evil, I mean, yeah, they want to play for that late game. They've responded pretty okay as well. Each and every time they've had these tower dives going the wrong way, for Nexus, they've been doing a pretty good job capitalizing on their mistakes. So both teams have learned out from the first game. Hopefully we'll see Dexter Is Actually Evil breaking into game number 3, but looking how it's going, and Nexus is doing a pretty good job just keeping up on their advantages. So we'll see if they can close it out, or will Dexter Is Actually Evil get that win.
Dexter actually might be caught out here. That's going to be the double CC and the tidal wave from Nami, probably the saving grace here. He did have to use the Fury of the Sands, get that extra hit points going as well. But yeah, Dexter not exactly the best of positions right there. Had to use a few of his things. Also got his ghost out of it as well. So a little bit of another victory from Anexis going forward. Dragon should be coming up the next minute or so. And without that ghost, without the Fury of the Sands, it's very likely that if Anexis really wants to pressure it and take it, it could very well be theirs. Now I was looking at Overpower, noticing that he's been farming with his Desperate Power. I wanted to look at the cooldown on that. 36 seconds. So this early game with that blue 36-second cooldown, very reminiscent of Lux farming.
Yeah, I mean, Desperate Power just gives that extra move speed, gets a little bit of AP bonus plus the spell vamp. I mean, it's not really a game changer, but it helps out a lot during, well, farming phases, lane phases, as well as, well, you know, team fights whenever he can get it in. But overall, I mean, the cooldown's gonna be shortened so much, especially with Overload, the Q as well, so. I mean, the Nexus, they're playing out really well. Rise, I mean, I'm pretty sure Overpower has been like a master of him just a little bit, and he's been doing a pretty good job with him, and especially pushing out the Kikas yet again over in top lane. And again, he built out the Sunfire Cape. He's probably going to be building to maybe a War Mogs this time to be a little bit more effective. But then you have Venomous Bite, you have that damage output from Elise, so I don't know if that's going to be totally effective against this team comp.
Well, while the one-on-one was going down in the top, we did lose out this mid tower from Anexis. Just couldn't really find an in to kind of stop it from happening. So 2 for 2 right there. Now, we don't have a ward here from Blue in terms of the Dragon. And as I say that, obviously, I'm looking at their new ward that they just placed down. So if we do have this Dragon attempt go down, it will not go unseen. But unfortunately, everyone just kind of backed. So in terms of trying to contest this, I think Anexis just might have it in the bag.
Yeah, especially with the DPS you get from the Plants of Zyra, you get the damage output from Sulliver as well with the Blade of the Rune King. It was a fast dragon that was going to happen no matter what, and unfortunately, the positioning of Dexter Is Actually Evil wasn't there, so they couldn't actually get back in on that time.
So we'll see the next one just before the 24-minute mark, and yeah, it's just a really good sense of timing from Anexis. I mean, that last team fight, lots of poke going down, a lot of abilities were used. They also knew that Dexter didn't have that ghost. The Fury of the Sands was up, didn't have the ghost, however, and this is a little bit of an oddity. You see Solava actually down south solo, able to pick up that. This could be very dangerous for Overpower top, though. There comes that Spirit Rush from Ari. He's still alive somehow. How is Overpower doing this? But Kika's kind of just backed off, has to flash forward with the Shadow Dash, and he will be able to take home not only the kill, but the tower. But I gotta say, Overpower staying alive to the end of it there. Really good times on him.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job just trying to dodge out, and he showed his micro right there. That was a pretty good, clean sweep of just abilities, just being rocked in, and yet dodging almost all of them out. Unfortunately, at the end, getting that Shadow Dash in with Kikas. Kikas just wanted to get that one down. Sulliver might be in a little bit of trouble over in that bottom lane. Meanwhile, we do have that Siege over in mid.
Yeah, the Siege mid's actually going pretty decent. Here comes the Tidal Wave. It will pick up Sulliver in the end of it, but nice Cocoon. Going to stop Dexter from getting in there. He does have his Fury up. Doesn't matter. Bullet Time going to take home the kill from Fusharp as Erotic tried to get into the back there on top of them. We also got the teleport coming out. We got Overpower now in here as well, but I'm not too sure it's going to be enough to take home anything more than just the Shen kill. But still, once again, these little skirmishes forcing out quite a few different abilities, a lot of summoners, and still only trading out 1 for 1.
I mean, it's just a testament to both these teams. They know when they get to get in, and they know when they get out. They're doing a really good job just controlling these fights, but actually that was Dexter Is Actually Evil getting that really great engage off the Nami ultimate with the Tidal Wave. Very key thing that they made Sulliver pay for his split pushing, so very smart from the team. Now they're going to go pressure the second middle turret.
Second middle turret, this kind of a little bit of payback for that top turret that's not there anymore. Fushar going to get cut out, a little bit of damage. Spirit Fire not really going to land on top of anything, but once again, Desperate Power, that AoE, that spell vamp, just really keeping them at bay, keeping the Overpower pretty happy and healthy as well. Let's take a quick look at Overpower. Tear of the Goddess up to 448, has himself the Rod of Ages, and it's up to 2 ability powers, so he's had it about the 18-minute mark. Not the quickest one that I've ever seen, but he got it before 20, and that means that before 30 he will be up to kind of full power in that regard. And blue buff is under a little bit of contention there as Overpower wants to get it, but we also got Dexter now kind of making an appearance.
Yeah, they're playing this one out pretty key. I mean, they don't know if it's up, they don't know if it's anything actually happening. Overpower's just still sitting there, it could be caught out over there. Then Super Hot Fire is going to go try to get the charm. He's actually going to charm the Golem instead of Overpower. And unfortunately, they do not want to contest this. Oh, Super Hot Fire in a little bit of trouble. We do see the backup from the Nami off of that Aqua Prison.
They got the Spirit Rush out of things, but Zax is going to be dropping real low. Unfortunately, not quite the kill that they were looking for. But Overpower at the end of all things is actually able to pick up that blue.
No, it was Super Hot Fire.
Really?
Yeah.
I was just looking at him. Oh yeah, there it is. Okay. My bad. My eyes are deceiving me. But no, alright, so steal successful.
Yeah, after wasting a bit of everything on that one, at least didn't burn any summoners, but yeah, very smart little take from Super Hotfire. I actually thought the Venomous Bite actually connected in to finish up the blue, but nope, it was Super Hotfire off the, or I think it was the Over Deception or Foxfire that got that one.
I think it was the Foxfire because the Orbit Deception was trying to kill Zaxxas. This would have been a nice 1-2 combo, but at the same time, I was also very concerned about Dexter and his smite because if we got low enough, he could just easily insta-smite it, walk away happy. Fortunately, it did not happen that round. Dexter actually going a very similar build to game number 1. Ninja Tabby, Spirit Stone, has himself that Runic by 21 minutes in, so that's a lot of extra AP and magic resist. Well, AP resist is what I was going to say, but yeah, that makes no sense. Magic resist for him as well as his team. We saw that in game number 1 as well, but this round we see Jhin not going right for that Aegis. He does have himself the Locket first, and now he does have the Emblem on top of him, so we might see his come out a little bit later, but Locket seems to be, you know, kind of what you do these days.
At least for Xin jungle or Shin jungle, I mean, he's pretty strong with that. And now Zaz is going to be able to get caught out over there. Kika's going to go do some minor damage, and Zaz is going to be able to just clear out the wave. That's actually a smart thing to keep Overpower at mid this time, because he's going to be more the tankiness that is going to be in, at least damage-wise. And Neurotic, again, only having the Locket and building into the Aegis right now, it's not the strongest of them tanks. I mean, yeah. You do have that effective HP when you put that on the shield, but only at level 10 right now. Barely getting level 10. It was just not going to be enough.
Ooh, lots of damage on top of Varus. Had to get a cleanse out of that one, so he's going to be okay for now. But still, you can see the damage starting to add up for Super Hotfire. Has himself the Abyssal, the Double Door, and Sork Shoes on top of things. So in terms of everything, 23 magic, 10, 8%, and on top of that, another 20 shred from the Abyssal. So yeah, it's starting to add up over time. You can see, let's take a quick look at magic resist values across the board. I don't see anything higher than 69 at this point. Okay, 91 there on Erotic, but he just finished up the Aegis.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a pretty smart little play. They're already expecting that it's going to go to the late game, and I do agree over in the chat. I mean, Abyssal set, they're probably not the best of the rushed items, but then again, we've seen these games go down to like 30 or 40 minutes. It's not actually a bad item to build into, especially of how the pace is going for this game. Dexter Is Actually Evil trying to slow it down just a little bit, just pushing out the lane so they can get some control, and they're going to probably fight for this dragon yet again in a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't know, maybe this time Dexter Is Actually Evil is going to get in position and ready for this one.
Well, instead, just before the 24-minute mark, came out around 23:45, and it's just we don't have the positioning here. It's going to be going again to Anexis. I believe that's 3 dragons for 0 so far. And yeah, Shen, you can see, he really wasn't interested at all. He's going to be up there, he's going to be split pushing, looking for maybe an engage here from Duck and Super Hotfire. We also got Dexter in there, but Dexter may be a little caught out. It's going to drop kind of low. Not really going to be in any kind of danger going down yet, and everyone's just going to kind of converge in this Baron area.
Yeah, they're going to try to just ward out and just kind of keep that secure. Again, Dexter Is Actually Evil didn't have a... I guess they had the timer, but they didn't actually know about the timer because the second dragon was taken pretty sneakily at the end of everything. But they probably knew a little bit of the positioning at the time. Unfortunately, Misfortune was taking the red right when the Nexus Esports was actually just taking the dragon. So Nexus said, well, we'll just take this and just keep going on our merry way with our, well, 1k gold advantage still coming out at the 25-minute mark.
So both of our top laners rocking their giant belts. You know, we also still have that double rejuve as well as the Warden's Mail, so I think that Kekas is once again going to go for a Randuin's. Had it kind of mid to late game last round and didn't really see it used to a super amount of effectiveness. You saw it go off in the team fights and then he usually died, which is unfortunate for him. But hey, lots of armor coming out for him. But you know, I think it was last game, as you said, he built lots and lots and lots of armor, and then AP KO just kind of kept treading all over him.
Yeah, and that's going to be the same thing for Herbal, especially building into probably a Seraph's Embrace right next. He's going to be doing a lot of damage effectively with the Overload, and on top of that, the Riot Age is already at almost full. Is going to be very strong as well. So Overpower is going to be a really big force to reckon with. Silver is going to be a very, very strong force as well. Building into the Infinity Edge. Comparably, Fu Sharp, actually the first time in this tournament, is building into a Bloodthirster first, so that's really interesting to see.
Yeah, he had the Bloodthirster about 13 minutes in.
Yeah.
Has a lot of his name, but yeah, Dexter gonna get caught out. There goes the bullet time. Got the Shadow Dash going in, but the Stranglestone's only gonna knock up Dexter. It's gonna be the Elise just going up and down, landing on top of Super Hot Fire. Not gonna be a charm connecting. Could be a little bit dangerous time for Zaxa, but the flash in and the Shadow Dash from Kikas is able to grab him the kill on top of Varus. That's gonna be the end of Erotic as well. And now we're gonna be changing tactics, looking for that spider. Does not have her cobwebs to scuttle to this round, and all of a sudden 3-for-0 exchange as Dexter's going to be putting on this mid pressure.
Yeah, they're going to go able to take over the second mid turret, no problem as well. Great flash and Shadow Dash coming in from Kikas, really setting the tone after a lot of AoEs just missing off on that one. And Kikas now in a little bit of trouble, having the tower aggro down, but the Feint's going to be able to save him out a lot of damage. And the back engage, or back disengage, going to be coming in from Dexter Is Actually Evil.
So unfortunately, not able to take home a tower from this. Overpower is kind of overpowered at this point. A nice pun we used to do in the day for him. But yeah, I mean, he's going to start getting up that AP. He already has himself nearly 3,000 mana, so he's been stacking that tier for quite a while. And actually on that note, no, he is almost done, 732. So we're actually going to see that finish up fairly soon. You think it's going to be a Seraph's?
I would think it'd be Seraph's because Manamune, the Murder Mana change is actually now all physical damage, I think, not magic damage, so it doesn't really help out on that. But then again, you never know. It could be a different kind of build. It could be double Rod of Ages, triple Rod of Ages that we see sometime from Borgeson of, I think it's Giants that's placed for that team.
I'm not going to hold my breath on that one, Bird.
Hey, you never know. You never know. But, I mean, it is probably going to be Sarah, so for sure. I mean, with that tier of the gods already built out and Blasting One being shown, it should be Sarah's Embrace to be the next item.
Alright, not to worry. So Laver this round, last time we saw him very much at the forefront of the kills for Team Anexis. This time, though, he's sitting at 0, 3, and 4. Comparatively, his item build is a little behind. He does have the eye, he does have the Blade of the Ruined King, very much the same as last time, but this time, last game, he also already had most of that Last Whisper finished up, and he still, yeah, he does have the tier 2 boots. Now, in comparison, you know, Fu Sharp, as we saw a very similar build from him last time, but this round, Bloodthirster into the Last Whisper. Wouldn't be too surprised to see a Phantom Dancer or a Static Shield come out for him in the near future.
Possibly, but we do see Super Hotfire going on. Erratic's going to be taken down right quick. Great little catch from that charm. Can Erratic actually get out of this? Actually, he will. What the freak? And we do see the Silver actually didn't be able to take out the kill on the Dexter. And unfortunately, we'll see if Dexter can finish one up.
Yeah, somehow Jin actually survived. There is a Shen. Oh, that's going to be a Water Prison. That's going to be the end of him as he does drop. So really kind of clutch escape. Did use out that Locket to a really nice degree. But yeah, unfortunately, Kikas is just all over that. Those Shadow Dashes, those flashes have been very key to their initiation here in the game number 2, especially game number 1 as well. Going to catch out Overval. He's kind of tanky at this point, though. And there's that Seraph shield that you were talking about. Inhibitor will go down, towers go down, but Kikas will drop as well. Now trying to look for the kill on top of Fu Sharp, but unfortunately, at least not going to be able to latch onto anyone. And it does look like Dexter's going to be able to get out of dodge this round. Either way, though, good push coming in from them. 12-6, 5 towers to 3. They're taking the gold lead and an inhibitor from Anexis. So again, very different game compared to game number 1.
Like the catch comp that's coming in from Dexter Is Actually Evil. You have the Nami Aqua Prison, like you said, catching up over in that top lane. You had the charm coming out from Ari catching over onto, I think it was Overpower in the beginning, so very, very key. Or in Zenjo in the beginning, so very, very key to actually set that one up is actually the Wither and all the other slows and disables that comes out from the behind the scenes from Dexter Is Actually Evil. You have that Wither, you have the slow coming out from the E of Nami for Misfortune as well. It was a just really, really good team play coming out from Dexter Is Actually Evil. Nexus Esports this time suffering a little bit from the miscommunication, the misposition as well. So they're gonna have to keep up with, well, grouping up together, but making sure they're not actually grouped in for Nami or something of a single CC target.
Right now, 102 physical damage on the Siphoning Strike there of Dexter. So, you know, 30 minutes in, 100 damage, stacking it at a decent pace, 30 a minute or 30 every 10 minutes or so. It's 3 a minute, yeah. Okay, he's getting 1 Q off a minute. Great. Awesome. 12-6. That Dragon's going to get soloed down by Fouchard. Really good job of him. 30 minutes in, so we should see the next one before 37. And Anexis kind of caught out on that one. They had absolutely no vision. I don't even think they knew it went down. There's no wards down there either. You can see Leo of Korea just rocking that Oracles. Do we see have one on Leduc? No. But we have been seeing some pink wards throughout this entire game. So I guess wards just ran out. They forgot to reward it. At this point, they should know that, you know, the timing was up. It was probably gone by now, as we now have the Baron pressure coming in.
Yeah, we do have Leo for Korea actually clearing out as many wards as he can in near the Baron pit. Unfortunately, there is a pink ward actually there, and that plan actually did a lot of DPS to Baron. Baron didn't actually care about that, unfortunately. And Leo for Korea actually going to get a good route onto Dexter. Are they actually going to engage in this? I don't think this is the smartest idea, and we're going to see an engage from Super Hot Fire.
Yeah, Super Hot Fire with that mobility coming in. There's the Zonias to kind of block out any kind of return damage. Unfortunately, it wasn't really much in the first place. Zax is going to throw out that Cocoon. Is this going to be a tower dive? Nope. But they did get the kill on top of Leo. Now they have pinged out top tower. Wouldn't be too surprised to see him grab top tower, then maybe make their way down to Baron, or they're just going to ignore that altogether and go straight for Baron.
Especially with the wards all cleared out over the Baron pit, they don't know about this ward over here though, so they're going to be able to be seen. And Anexis does know that the Baron's about to be started up right now, so they do see the response coming right into this. They have no idea that this vision's still there, and Super Hot Fire is going to have to back away from this.
Yeah, if they had kind of banked on that, he might have got real punished real hard. Aqua Prism not going to land. Overbow, however, kind of far out. There goes the Seraphs. It gets instantly destroyed. Kika's able to pick up that kill, and now it's just going to be a Nexus kind of on the run. There's the randoms again. Kika's able to make that happen. Super Hot Fire on a killing spree, and now Salaver has to force out that cleanse, and there's Zyra just going to come in here for the saving grace. But still, who's up here? It's going to be Elise, and that's going to be a dead spider. And all of a sudden, 3 more kills later. Sure, lost Dexter on top of things, but wow, I gotta say, Dexter Is Actually Evil is really making a strong mid-game appearance here.
Yeah, Dexter Is Actually Evil. Probably going to be able to take out this Baron as well. They're going to wait for this takeover from Leo from Rhea. But again, that ward and that brush has saved a lot of time and might be able to, yeah, disengage this Baron as well. So the very, very fortunate positioning for Leo for Korea / Anexis to ward out the brush right next to the red area of Anexis Esports. But unfortunately for the team of Dexter Is Actually Evil, they didn't really take any positional advantage. The only thing they did take of it is the gold advantage, now over at that 3K mark.
Oracle's Elixir, Spirit Visage, and Phantom Dancer. So kind of was going to ask them for that Oracle's. It's about time that you really got one, the ward game being as strong as it is now in Season 3. But yeah, Phantom Dancer on Misfortune, really nothing too unexpected, but yeah, Spirit Visage on Shen. That's nothing I really would have expected out of him, but you know, he has over 200 physical armor. Now it's time to really bump up that magic resist, and I mean, Spirit Visage is as good as any.
Yeah, I mean, especially with the double rejuvenation bead, and actually that's the only thing that's going to give him health regen. It'll help out just in split pushing and just keep him going. And especially with the magic resist coming into play, Overpower does do a bit of magic damage. I mean, Seraph's Embrace all filled up in belt. You have the Riot Ages all filled up as well, but doesn't have that like, overwhelming magic damage, all the consistent DPS. So having the Spirit's Visage will help just mitigate most of that burst that usually comes in from Arise. So very, very key things Kikis is doing, and especially with these team fights, Kikis has done amazing with them, and he's going to try to keep it up onto Zaz's.
Said Oracle's coming out, going to be clearing out that ward vision. I'm fairly sure we have a suspicion it's going down. Unfortunately, they're going to get there too little, too late. And now, oh, we are going to get the engage. There's the tidal wave and the prison. Super Hot Fire coming in with Shen. And that Spirit Fire, the Spirit Rush coming in. Erotic forcing out that flash. Actually, no kills with this Baron infused team. But yeah, Super Hot Fire just jumping over the edge, using the Shen for the shield, as well as looking for that Shadow Dash, but did not grab it. Either way, Inhibitor's back up, and I don't think it's going to live that long, Bird.
No, especially with Siphoning Strike out of the rank 3, damage so fast, and it's going to be taken down right quickly. Yes, there you go. Dexter Is Actually Evil, probably going to go rotate here with top lane / Shen, should be able to finish that one up over there. Great flash out after the Shadow Dash comes into play from Kikis, or from, sorry. yeah, erotic. So that was a very, very smart play over there. Other than that, yeah, good disengage from the team of Nexus. I don't know if they can keep on holding out, especially with the damage output that Dexter Is Actually Evil is going to be bringing in soon.
Well, it's definitely leaning towards a game number 3 at this point. Up nearly 6,000 gold, 2 Barons, 3 Towers, and I don't think the Dragon advantage, but still, lots of cash to their name. They've got to be feeling real good about their kill comp that they got going here. I think they do got to wait for cooldowns. We don't have that tidal wave up. We don't have the Fury of the Sands. We don't have bullet time. But we do have a Baron buff, and it's going to be sitting on us for almost 3 minutes. So they can afford to wait at this point and just put up this pressure. The longer they keep Anexis busy top, the better chances of mid starting to do a little bit of damage there with those super creeps. And yeah, it's just the tactic for Dexter to win at this point.
Yeah, it's the split push mentality. Just keep up ahead and making sure that they can keep on pushing down that middle inhibitor to make sure that, yeah, it's going to be very, very bad trades either way for Nexus, and that's just the way to go when you're ahead. You can get ahead, you get more ahead, especially in towers and creeps than anything, but especially in positioning. That is what's the key for this game, and Dexter Is Actually Evil. They're going to keep on doing this, and they're going to keep on pressuring, and Nexus can't really respond over that mid, or especially at the bottom.
I like how Super Canyon made its way all the way up here following the city ladder, but we cannot see the landing of Aqua Prisons. There's the tidal blast. We're going to get responded with the Strangle Thorn. We had the bullet time going out there as well. Super high fire with the Zonia is going to drop real quick. And yeah, that just all of a sudden big burst of ultimates. 1-for-1 trade, but we still got this Baron infused team putting up the pressure. It's very likely it for the tower. Very likely another inhibitor as well. But here comes Varus with the home guard and the arrow. Actually, his damage is not really ignorable at this point. And here comes everyone else now with the home guard and the Shurilia. So we're going to be looking for this kill. Dexter pops out that ghost. Great water prison coming out from Leduc. And I think that's going to be the end of that chase. But yeah, again, that mid lane starting to put on the damage on top of these Nexus towers.
And that's unfortunate. We do see Sullivan going to actually come right back in and clean that one up, no problem. But again, when super minions are actually in play, every other minion gets a little bit more health, a little bit more everything. And unfortunately, over in that bottom lane, second turret going to be taken down. Did
not expect that. I was actually watching Fu Sharp take on Dragon by himself. Doesn't even take any damage out of it, my goodness. And with the Baron buff, less than a minute left on it, nobody kind of on the other half of this map. Very likely then that's going to be it for the push, but that means that we have less than 4 minutes until Baron's up, less than 6 until Dragon is up, and we are approaching that 40-minute sweet spot again.
Yeah, definitely. And Leduc coming in, Warden out. This is going to be another push. I think they're going to rotate bottom mid. So they're going to go try to force them mid to make sure that it's pushed in pretty much near the turret / near the Nexus. But making sure that bottom is actually secured up, because you really have a naked inhibitor over that top lane. Making sure that they can take that down easily. They want to pressure over at this bottom lane pretty hard so that they can, well, split this pressure yet again, and probably send Shen over in that top lane to finish up that top inhibitor.
Now looking at everyone, Kikas doesn't have his stand united quite yet, but the rest of the ultimates are up here from Dexter. On the flip side, everyone seems to be ready to go for the next fight here on Anexis, but yep, top tower is of course down, so that is going to be a naked inhibitor, something just to keep in the back of your mind. And these mid lane super creeps definitely seems to be the wave to push at this point, because yeah, they were able to make it all the way up to Anexis. Now of course, those towers are going to regen, it's not going to be too much, we couldn't really capitalize on the damage, but still, the pressure is on Anexis, and now them being up 1-0, I mean, yeah, sure, if they lose, it's just going to be a game number 3. It's not nearly as devastating as if Dexter's going to lose, but still, I mean, coming from a game number 1 where you won pretty handily there in the end game to this kind of stalemate, kind of got to hit the morale a little bit.
Yeah, that's the problem with being one up ahead. I think Ocelot said this before. Yeah, it sucks being the one to win 1-0, but now at 1-1, the pressure's really on for Nexus, and it looks like it's going to be happening pretty soon. Dexter going to be caught out over here. We'll see if they can finish this kill.
Yeah, there's the Sand United coming by. Shen's not going to be able to finish off that inhibitor. Leo from Korea in the back. Leduc trying to get up to the front line. Spirit Fire going down. We got the Fury of the Sands. There's the bullet time come out for the double kill, and now we're able to take home the third. Tower's now going to be dropping as well, and that is very likely game, Mr. Bird.
Yeah, definitely great bullet time. They focus so much on Sullivan, and they couldn't actually get the kill until the end. And little Mark Bushrap actually going to try to do something. He's actually going to be taken down right quick, but Zaz is going to trade off his life as well. Super Hot Fire going to be taking that kill. Kikis in a little bit of trouble, but it is going to be Overpower taken down from... Oh, it's just a surrender vote. Overpower going to be taken down from Fusharp.
The Seraph Ape was almost strong enough to grab that kill. We saw the Manor teleport come out from Super Hot Fire at the end of it as well. But 22-9, a very differently paced game here in game number 2. And now we are tied up 1-1. And we're going to be forcing out game number 3 of this series of Anexis versus Dexter Is Actually Evil.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, dang, there's just so much hype into this matchup. Again, they're playing for that first or second spot. They're going to be playing for just positioning in the next tournament. Again, the summer promotional tournament that's coming up. If you get that first or second spot, you're actually going to be playing against Uncle Ruckus Revenge or Esports for Life in that first part of the tournament, as it is the promotional tournament. And hopefully, I mean, the Nexus, they can take it. Hopefully, the new upstarts technically with Dexter Is Actually Evil will take this one as well. I mean, it's anyone's game, and hopefully we'll see a good game 3.
Alright guys.